Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Varun Tahin. So in the previous session, we have installed SQL onto our system with all its prerequisites. And now we are ready to make our own SQL world with all the databases, tables and all other fancy stuffs. So today is going to be very interesting as we will pick a real world example and structure our database by defining schemas and then ingest and retrieve data out of the tables we create. So let's begin. Now guys, before writing anything, we will first see the example we are working with the help of entity relationship diagram. So now as you know that I have already uploaded the contents onto this GitHub repository. What I have done is I have pulled those onto my computer by downloading them. Now this folder will have the company underscore handout.pdf. This file contains the example that we will be working with. Okay, so if I open this, so this diagram which you are seeing on the screen is the company database schema that we have structured by creating the entities and establishing the relationship between them as they will be in a company. So you can see the employee table. It will have various columns such as F name, that is the first name, M init, L name, SSN, birth date, address, sex, salary, super SSN and T number. Okay, and there will be numerous other tables like department location, project, works on, dependent. So these all will have various relationship among themselves by the means of the foreign keys that we have talked earlier. Now guys, we will look into this picture in more detail. So instead of having the employee details in a single table, what we do in a relational database system is we will segregate those into multiple tables. So instead of having the department and department location everything in the employee table, we have created separate tables here with the name of department, having the particular fields specifically for the department like the department name, department number, manager SSN and manager start date. Okay, then department location will have the department number and department location. Project will have the project name, project number, project location, department number. And works on will be association of the particular employee with the project and how many hours he has worked on that project. And then the dependent. So this is a kind of relationship we will be building. So guys, the reason for structuring the table like this is that SQL demands normalization. So what is normalization? So normalization is a technique of organizing the data in a database, and it is done to minimize the redundancy, that is duplicate data, and to ensure only related data is stored in each table. And it also prevents any issues stemming from database modifications such as insertion, deletions and updates. So I will be giving a link in the description also for you guys to go through. So that will be covering all the normalization concepts. We will not go through each of the concepts in this session. Now here in this diagram you can see that various tables are related with the other tables, okay, by special keys which are called as foreign keys. So department number in department is related to the department number in employee and the department number in department location and the department number in project. Then the project number is dependent upon the project, and then all the other tables are dependent on the employee via SSN. So guys, now that we have installed the SQL Workbench in the previous session, let's use that to connect to the connection we made and create these tables there. So what I do is I go to the start menu and I just type Workbench. Okay, so this will open and we can see that we made this test connection in the previous session. So I'll just double click it and it is asking for password. So I didn't give any password. So by default the password is root. So I'll just give root and click OK. Okay, so this window will come where we will see that on the top we'll have one option to create a schema in the connected server. So I'll just click this one and then give the schema a name. So I'll just say company underscore schema and then apply it. Okay, so it's just asking us to apply the SQL script to the database. So I'll just say apply and finish. On the left hand side you will see along with the other DB that I have in my local system, I have this company schema also. So these are previously created, so don't give any attention to this. So this is the newly created schema that we just created. And what I do is I double click this. So this will be in effect now. And what I do is I'll just go up and create a new SQL tab for executing the queries. So this will give you a blank space to write your SQL queries, and now we can start. Okay guys, so let's start creating tables one by one. For the reference, I have kept this document aside. So we will check table by table and what all references it has, and we will code the SQL queries here. Okay, so let's create the employee table first. So I'll use create table employee with a bracket, and then I'll give f name as varchar. Okay, so 30 I'm taking as a length here, then m init. So this is the initial for the middle name, so I just want a character, so I'm just using character here. Then l name will again be varchar of length 30, let's say, and then is ssn. Okay, so ssn will be of char 9. Okay, so 9 characters. It can be either number or letter. And then birth date, it will be a date type, and then address with a varchar of again 30. Okay, and after that sex with a char of 1, either male or female, and then salary. So here we will choose it as float. Okay, with 2 as precision. Now super ssn is the next field, so again it will be a char 9 field, and then will be the number, that is department number. So let me take it as small int. Okay, the length of 6. So this is it. Now guys, we have to define a primary key here, remember. So for that, what we will do here is we will define a constraint. So constraint, so I'll name that primary key as pk employee, and primary key. Okay, so this keyword should be there, and it is ssn. Okay, so this is the column name, so I'm using the same column here. Now guys, let's create department table also. So I'll just copy this. Instead of employee, I'll say department. Okay, and I'll define all its respective columns. So the first column is dname. Okay, so it can be varchar of length 30. Then we'll move on. Second is d number with a small int. Okay, then is manager ssn. So this can be a char of 9, as we are taking ssn as 9 characters. And then mgr start date. Okay, this can be a date, or this should be a date, and then we will define a constraint. Okay, that is the primary key. So for this table, you can see that it should be department number, because this is a department table. So I will define constraint pk department and say primary key as the number. Okay, and just close this bracket. Now let's move on to the department locations. Okay, so again we have to create department. So just name it alias department locations. Okay, and let's define its column. So the first one is d number with small int, and then d location. Okay, so this is varchar 20. Okay, so here guys, we have to choose the primary key very wisely, because if we use only the department number or department location, it won't be unique here. So we have to choose a combination of both. The reason is the same department number can exist in multiple locations and vice versa. Okay, so what we'll do is we will put a constraint. Okay, so I'm just copying this and let me name it as pk department location and give the primary key as d number comma d location. Okay, so this is kind of a composite key we are defining here. Okay, so this will define a unique record in this table. Okay, so the next one here is project. So I'll say create table project with p name as varchar 30. Okay, then p number as small int, then is p location, that should be again varchar 30. Okay, it is an address, and then dnum, that is department number, which is again a small int. Okay, and here the constraint will be the project number, that is p number. Okay, so I'll just copy this again, keep it here, change it to pk project. Okay, and this should be p number. Okay, sorry, we forgot to give it a semicolon, that's why it was erroring out. And now the second and last one is works on. Okay, so create table works underscore on, and then here is ESSN with a char 9, then is p number with a small int, then is hours, that is float. Okay, it can be in hours and minutes, so I'm taking float. Then we are taking primary key, so here again it will be a composite key, which will be a combination of ESSN and p number. Okay, so just close it. And the last one now is dependent. Okay, so create table dependent with ESSN as char 9. Okay, then dependent name as varchar 30. Okay, then is sex, which is again a character of length 1, then is birth date, that is of type date, and then is relationship, which is again varchar 30 or 20, you can say. Okay, now here we have to define the primary key. So primary key here also will be a composite primary key. Okay, so I'll name it as pk dependent and make primary key as ESSN. So it will be a combination of ESSN and name. Okay, because either name or ESSN cannot be the primary key, that's why we are taking the combination of both of them. Now let's create these. So what I do is I'll select it all and there is a button here to execute the selected portion. So I can just click it. Okay, so you can see that all the tables are created here, and when you go to the left hand side, you will be seeing the tables now. Okay, and now let us refresh it. So when we refresh it, you will see that all the tables are created. So department, dependent, department location, employee, project, and works on. Total 6 tables. So as we have created the tables, now we need to insert records into the same tables. So as we have seen in the previous sessions also, how do we create and how do we insert in records into the same table is we have a specific format for it, that is insert into table name with the column names first and then values keyword, and after that we will specify the values there. For an instance, I have just put some dummy values here for each of the tables. So for employee, I will be inputting the F name, the initial of the middle name, last name, SSN, birthday, address, sex, salary, super SSN, and department number. Okay, as per the data types I have mentioned there. Okay, so whichever are the character ones, that is, let's say sex, these are the one characters, so male or female. So birth date is in date format. Okay, and the respective values are matching the data types we have mentioned here, like small int is for the D number. Okay, now comes the department. So for the department, likewise we have characterized it, and we have taken care of all the data types also. Manager start date is date type, and then D number is a small int, which you can see here. So it is a single digit, and likewise. So for the department locations also we have filled, and works on, and for the project and dependent. Now there are some things that we have kept in mind while designing this table and also while inserting values into this table. That is, its referential integrity is maintained. That is, the foreign keys are maintained and it is referenced across the tables. Okay, so you can see various records for it. Okay, let's take an example of department. So department, you can see that it has research as the department name, department number as 5, and manager SSN as 33344 4 times 5. So these are manager SSN. Okay, so this person, this person, this person are managers. Now we can find out that whether these are present into the employee table. So yes, this is present here as the second record, and this is present here as the fourth record, and this is present as the last record here. Okay, so these persons, whoever have the SSN, are the managers, and you can see the ordinary people or the general employees who come under these managers are John, okay, Alicia, Ramesh, Joyce. So these are the people, okay, because they will have their manager SSN here. So it means that this person who is Franklin, who has this SSN, is the manager of John, because John has super SSN as 33344 4 times 5, which is Franklin. So Franklin becomes manager of John. Okay, so here also in this screen you can see the diagram shows that manager SSN is dependent upon the SSN. And then comes the department locations. So department number and department location. Basically you can say department number 5 is present in 3 locations, that is Bel Air, Sugarland, and Houston. And you can see that department number has a reference to the department table. Okay, or department locations, department number has a reference to the department number in the department. Okay, so when it says 5, that means that it is either talking about Bel Air, Sugarland, or Houston. Now this has department number 4, that means it's only Stanford, and then this is 1, that means this headquarters is in Houston. Okay, so there are 3 research centers and 1 administration and 1 headquarters location. Now we will come on to works on. So works on also has the project number as the reference. So you can see here that P number is 1, 2, 3, 10 and 30, and it is referencing the department number from the department table. Okay, likewise for dependent, this dependent ESSN is actually dependent on the SSN in the employee. Okay, so you'll see the same SSNs here. So these all referential integrities are maintained. Okay, so you need to check whether these links are done the way we are inserting the values here. Now, how do we come up with these value here is we have created a larger table with all the details of all the employees first, with their personal information, department location, works, project and dependents in a single table, and then we try to segregate those information into different tables as per their domain information. Like department details will be in department information, then locations information will come in department location, then if there are some relationships for the number of hours they have worked on a particular project, then it should come on works on, and then the project and the dependent. So the employees dependent is separated into dependent table. Okay, now once we segregate it, let me show you how do we read this. Okay, let's say that we take an example for John. Okay, John B. Smith is his full name, and with his all his detail in the employee table with his SSN as 123456789. So as I told you that this person will be his manager, so Franklin T. Wong would automatically become his manager here according to this, and then we can say that this person is working with department number 5, which is research center. How do we come to know this? Because department number 5 is research. Okay, so there is a reference of the department number with this department number in the department table, you can see here. So this is, we are concluding that this is for research he is working for. Now second thing is the department location. Okay, so this guy will be working on research, but he might be working in Bel Air, Sugarland or Houston and not in any other location, because there is a reference of this department number with the department number in the department location. Okay, so he's either working in Bel Air, Sugarland or Houston. Okay, then let's check what are his working hours. Okay, so as per his SSN was 123456789. So looking at this table, it is clearly visible that he is working in project number 1, that is. Now let's check the works on table. So his SSN was 123456789. Okay, so here there is this record and only this record in the works on table. Okay, with the project number 1 and number of hours as 32.5. So we can clearly say that this person has worked in project 1 for 32.5 hours. And then the project, so his project was project 1. Okay, we have seen here. So this project number is also associated and referenced here in this project table. So this has a project number 1. So he has been working with project X and is located in Bel Air location with a department number 5. So we come to this conclusion that he is working with Bel Air location only by this project table. Now comes his dependents. So we can see that this SSN is present in 3 records. So his dependents become Michael, Alice and Elizabeth. So this is how we interpret the particular record. So guys, now that we have written the commands for insert in various table, let's run it. So I'll just select this part and run this. So you can see the results in the below section where action output is there. Okay, so here you will get an elaborated view of how much time each query takes and whether that is successful or not and what action has been performed. So if any other query fails, you will come to know with a specific reason or message here. So you can see here all the queries succeeded for now. So now we will move on to the important part, which is referencing or linking these tables. Now for creation of the foreign keys, what we'll do is we will alter these tables. Okay, so let's alter the tables. So I'll say alter table employee add constraint. Okay, so I'll say fk super SSN. Okay, so this is the first reference. This is making super SSN with SSN. So I'm just making this. So this will be name of the foreign key, and then will come foreign key, and then name of the column, which is super SSN, then references. So these are the keywords, guys, you need to learn. Okay, so it will be references. Okay, and then comes the table name, which is employee, and then which column it is referencing. So this is SSN, and then semicolon. Okay, so this is the first reference it is making. Okay, let us create another reference. So the second reference it is making is with the department number. Okay, so here I will copy this statement and then change this foreign key to department number, and then this to D number, and then this to D number. Okay, and this will be department. Okay, so department, so department has D number and the employee has DNO as the department number. Okay, so this is the second reference in this table. Now what all other references it has? So the department location has D number and it is referencing the D number of department. Okay, so that we will add. So department locations, so this is giving us automatically. Now this will be FK D number, foreign key will be D number, and then references will become department D number. Okay, so this is correct. Now what are the other references? The other references is project. Okay, so we can see the D num in project is referencing the D number in department. Okay, so department locations will change to project here, and then comes FK dnum, and then this will become dnum. Okay, because project has dnum. Okay, here, and then will come the department D number. Okay, then the fifth constraint is works on. Okay, so works on has two references. The one is with the SSN and the second one is with project number. Okay, so what we'll do is here we will create for ESSN. So we'll say ESSN, and then this will be ESSN, and then this will be employee SSN. Okay, now likewise we will create another one. So this one will be FK underscore PNO with PNO as the foreign key, and we are referencing project table with the P number column. Okay, and then comes the last, which is dependent table. So here comes dependent, where FK the EP ESSN, so it is referencing ESSN. So here it will be ESSN, and it is referencing the employee table SSN. Okay, so here it will be SSN. Now let's try and run this. Okay, so you can see here all the queries have succeeded, and you will be able to see that it has completed the database creation, the table creation, the record insertion, as well as referencing the various table by foreign keys. Now guys, just to check whether it has inserted the records properly or whether it has referenced the correct tables, we will just fire a simple select query on one of the tables. Okay, so I will say select star from employee, okay, with a semicolon, and just run this. So you can see here it has created this table and inserted the record as well. Okay, so there were around, so we have inserted 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8 records, and exactly it has done that. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8, and you can see on the left side, when you expand each of the table, you will get the column and indexes, and you will get the foreign keys as well. Okay, so just to check, we have referenced the foreign keys. So this FK department ESSN, which is this one. Okay, what it is doing, so it is referencing the SSN from the employee table. So it is exactly doing the same here. So that means that our queries has run successfully and the data looks consistent and integrity is also maintained. So this is it, guys. In the next session we will check the ways to query these tables using DQL, which is data query language, which is select commands to view the data as we require from the tables we just created. Until then, guys, please go through the GitHub material I shared and practice the creation part. If you like my content, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and please subscribe my channel if you are looking for more awesome content, as this is your one-stop channel for anything related to data science. Also, I would like to thank you all wholeheartedly for reaching a milestone of 400 subscribers. Please continue to support me as much as you can so that I can bring in more refined and appropriate content on data science. Please take care of yourselves and your loved ones. I will see you in the next session. Thanks for watching and happy learning.